Hi, my favourite way to read books is actually to read a physical book. I do actually have an Audible subscription and have subscribed to Kindle e-reader in the past. However, physical books are still my favourite because I am one of those crazy people that do like to smell the book when I'm reading it because I am weird and beautiful. However, I have used Kindle e-reader in the past. I don't use it now because I do not have an iPad or an actual Kindle, and I think that if you're going to use the Kindle subscription, you need an actual Kindle or an iPad, like a bigger screen rather than on a mobile, which is what I use, which is why it probably put me off a little bit. I use the Audible subscription, so when I'm out and about, when I'm in the gym, when I'm doing the ironing, generally going out and about, I do use the Audible subscription. But physical books are still my favourite to use. There are pros and cons of everything. I mean, you need internet access to use Audible. I'm not sure if you are able to use it without Wi-Fi or offline at all. I don't think so. You can have an Audible app for your smart TV, which I have used and I do have on my TV. You can have Audible downloaded onto your computer. You can have Kindle e-reader onto your phone, like I said, but my preference is that I would prefer it on an actual Kindle or an iPad because of the bigger screen, and I think you need a bigger screen to read on. And I also think Kindle is a very good for somebody who is dyslexic or has trouble reading. So one of my children, they have trouble reading and they prefer to read on a screen, so Kindle is very good for them and it's really helped them with their schoolwork. So I really do recommend that if you have a child with dyslexia or some other reading difficulties. I also still think that children should be made to read before bed because it helps them go to sleep. I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I do make my children read before they go to bed. Now it's a bit more difficult because they're teenagers and they prefer to do their own thing, but still, reading before bed, even if it's reading on the screen, it's still reading and it's good for their mind. And yeah, those are my thoughts for today. Whether or not I'm on the right track or whatever, they're still my thoughts. So thank you and goodbye.